जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. The Prahlad incident was going on from Puranas. Prahlada's incident, which the person who explains the Puranas, the Pauranik, called Kathak Thakur, is explaining, and Sri Ramakrishna goes into ecstatic mood, and at these words, Master wept. He went into ecstatic mood. Afterwards, he began to talk to the devotees. How much of dependence on God, how much of love of God, how much of sacrifice, how much of forbearance a devotee of God bears. All the lives of saints are witness of these things. Intense suffering, calmly facing everything. Master, bhakti is the only essential thing. How many times Sri Ramakrishna, throughout the gospel, you can see how he insists again and again bhakti or love of God, because that is as if it is the path for the Kali Yuga in which we are dwelling now. We are in the materialistic world of matter. Man's body is matter and has become so much attached to the body, he thinks himself to be body. And in Kali Yuga, this present age of the Iron Age, the jivas are dependent on food. At various other times, they are dependent on different things. If life exists in physical level, bodily level, then only it is said the body sustains, the jiva is there in it. Life sustains by life existing at the bodily level. There are other levels wherein these things can exist. Now, it can remain in the muscles only. It can remain in bones. It can remain in marrows. Life in one of the earlier, this one we see, it is as long as bone is alive, the person is alive. Now, physical body, bone remains for a long time. My body may fade away, the muscles may start shrinking down. The food I have taken maybe a year back is still sustaining the bone, then he is still alive. He can come back. Now I have taken food, within 3 hours the food gets exhausted. Maximum I can sustain my life in this physical body without food, maybe 13-14 days. With water, a little more it may extend. Average 13 to 15 days is the average. If I stop everything, taking food, the body can sustain. But in case if the life is sustained only by just the bones living, the skin, the muscles, everything may just shrink down because of lack of food. But bone is alive, then if I am alive, then it will be through years. My life may sustain through another 1 decade. I need not take my food. I can sit and call on God continuously. Now I can sit and call on God. Maximum 1 day I can fast. By that time I get exhausted. In earlier days, so tapas, each period it changes. The shift from the innermost existence to the outermost bodily level. So when bodily level, annagata prana, jivas are presently annagata prana. He cannot sustain lifelong. He has to earn, he has to eat, he cannot call on God. He cannot do tapas. I will go and sit for 5 years. I will not get up from my seat. I will go on contemplating. I cannot say. Because I will not be living at all. So, the doing jnana yoga, this, that, other types of yogas is not possible for the present age. What is the easiest path Sri Ramakrishna has been advocating all these years we see of his whole life, almost since the beginning till how he began his sadhana, coming to Dakshineshwar, how he developed the love of God, and he went through all the paths. I suppose I am there. I am doing sadhana in a particular tradition. I am accustomed with the tradition. I can tell about with authority, this is the path to God. But another person may not accept who belongs to some other tradition. He says, no, it may not lead you to that. I have been using this path. My grandfather realized God and went, my father realized God, and I am also finding the great progress in my life. This is the right path. Each one might say that this particular thing is the... Sri Ramakrishna is not telling like that. Being accustomed with one path, he has passed through every path to God which was available at that times and which was almost on the verge of completely disappearing from the world. Other religions also, like the Islam and Christianity, he does the spiritual practices in that also. Through all the paths, he found out the one hand. And being the insider, not an outsider, he passed through all the phases of sadhana, through all paths, and finally he is telling, bhakti is the easiest path. I have gone through all the paths. In jnana yoga, I have to tear away from my family, my relatives, my duties and responsibilities. I must go somewhere, call on God, go on contemplating. For the sake of little food, I have to move from house to house. This is and yoga. He has to retire from all his duties and responsibilities. Sit day and night, yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara. Max Muller says, each discipline to expertise may take one life. Yama itself, 5 subdivisions are there. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha and Brahmacharya. Each one of them may take one life. Ahimsa to practice and come out successfully. It may take one life. So, each one, pranayama expertise may take one life. So, When will you do? How will you reach God? So each path, Karma Yoga doesn't have an independent existence of its own. Either it must be dependent on Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. I am not doer. Nature is doing. He just goes on serving, removing his ego. Or for the sake of God, may God be pleased by serving these people. Some either have to depend on Bhakti Yoga or Jnana Yoga. To adopt Karma Yoga independently is very difficult. We cannot devote ourselves to the welfare of others, to sacrifice our life to that extent of complete giving without any, means I don't have any intention behind in my doing service. How difficult you see. The moment I enter into the world, so much of opposition, so much of struggle to maintain one patient. Suppose I want to serve one patient. Where shall I work? Where shall I get money? Where shall I serve him? Where shall I get his food? How to serve? Any service needs money. Where to get? People, will you collect from people? They will ask. Again there the raga dvesha comes. Door to door you will go. Just like suppose you want to maintain your family without earning, how difficult it is. If you go for earning, you cannot serve. If you go for serving, you cannot earn. So here every path has something here in Bhakti Yoga. You need not worry anything. Go on in your life with all things as they are, without altering anything. Let you be in the family, let all relationship, this, that, everything, keep your mind on God and attend to all things. Love your family, children, serve, uninvolved, totally detached. So again and again, you are sannyasi, doesn't matter. Love God. You have nothing to lose or gain. You have given up the world, give yourself to God. The day you give entirely yourself, resign yourself to God, without keeping any reserve for yourself, you are there in presence of God and God is there in your presence. You will realize God reveals and you see that giving must be complete. So, just the love of God. Wherever you are, whatever you are, just reach God in this very life safely, because it is not only your part to move. If you keep one step towards God, God keeps 10 steps towards you. So the journey that you have to pass is very little. Suppose 1 year struggle you do, 10 years struggle, God compensates sadhana. In all other paths, you have to take your own responsibility. In the path of bhakti, God takes your responsibility. Nature participates. Whatever you want, whatever is to be given, will be given and served. So this is the path of bhakti. That's why Sri Ramakrishna again and again insists, go with it. Through this path, you safely reach without any problems in your life. Because God's participation is there. He will protect you when you are in danger, because these are the lives. Now Prahlada's life is told how God made him, protected him at every step. Somebody is protecting you, somebody is taking care of you, somebody is providing you food. and health. What to worry? Just it's a journey, joyful journey to the eternal. Bhakti is the only essential thing. Bhakti is where I devote myself entirely. Love of God passes through different stages. Love in love, first I go on offering myself to God. Please accept me, whatever I am, however I am yours. Accept me, accept me. I have done lot of wrong things in my life. I have done very little good in my life. I have not done any tapas sadhana. I am like this. You accept me, accept me. I am offering myself as I am. I don't have time to clean. I don't know the path to clean. You have to do everything for me. He goes on offering. I am yours, I am yours. Slowly, within a year, there is a transformation, inner transformation. Slowly he sees the desire for the world, grip on the world, the longing for enjoyments, all are decreasing. A little love is awakening in the heart for God. He feels so grateful to God, gratitude, because the world was dragging me, inner vasanas were driving me. From outside there is a pull, from inside there is a push. My old vasanas are pushing me and world is drawing me. What would be my state? From that God has saved me, and now I am attaining some calmness in my mind. Nothing attracts me. So within a year after he begins self-giving, I give myself. After a year he sees there is a transformation, that attraction for the world is decreasing. Because it is like I am moving towards a magnet. Magnet is pulling. The world was pulling. Now, after reading, contemplating on things of the divine, God is pulling me. So, when world was pulling, now God is pulling. How much of difference? I may be same rigidity, I may be there, but when world was pulling, I too was going in the direction. Now God is pulling, and I feel such a grateful kritagnyata and thanksgiving. Thank you, my Lord. And he feels closer to God and start telling, God is mine, God is mine. I am yours, you are mine. The second stage of, after a small amount of love awakens, world drops off, then the second stage enters into the second stage, God is mine. First stage is aham tavasmi tvam mamasi, you are mine. So when he starts holding on to God as mine, like a mother holding the child, now he is holding as mine, 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 God alone. The world drops off. God is infinite, God is eternal, and all these passing events of life, looks, even life's, what is this body, what is this world? Oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Body is having pain, doesn't matter. Oh, this is, one day it's going to fall off. Old age is going to come, everything is going away. God is eternal. I have an eternal existence within me. This body is changing. From birth I have seen, it is constantly changing. Now, but I am not changing. There is a principle within. Whenever you see a change, there is a thing which is unchanging. Water is flowing, bank is there, not moving. So I see the change. Water flowing I see because the bank is there which is not flowing with the. Similarly, sun is moving around this earth because earth is not moving in comparison with the sun. I see the sun moving because earth is stationary with respect to sun. But when I go out beyond the solar system and see, I see the whole solar system, everything moving. Then I see the earth also moving around the sun. The whole thing changes as I move. So here, when the world is leaving me, I am getting freedom from all attractions of the world. Slowly, I start expanding in God. God starts expanding from within. He pervades, He occupies the heart. He manifests in my heart. He was there, unseen. Now I feel His living presence in my heart. So I am moving towards the realization. Slowly I start experiencing God in various aspects, little by little. Step by step I realize. Finally I see I and God are one. There was not two at all. There is no two, there were never two. And this aham tavasmi, tvam mamasmi, ahamevasmi tvam, tvamevasmi aham, aham brahmasmi. I am yourself, you are myself. There were never two, there was one. It was appearing as two. Sri Ramakrishna says, a bucket of water is there, put a stick on that, it looks as if it is divided into two. Stick is making the water appear to, it is a stick floating on the top. So it appears to be dividing the water into two. Just look below the stick, it is one. It was never two. So he was viewing from outside. It was looking strange. He's giving the example. Bhakti is the only essential thing. One obtains love of God by constantly chanting His name and singing the glories. Bhakti is where you devote yourself entirely. In the devotion, many things participate. Many things are involved. What are there? You see one by one things. That I have a body. I devote my body also to God to serve. I water the plants, I pluck the flowers, I make garland, I bring so many items, fruits, he said, offer to God. I am giving my body to the service of God. I see God in some people, I go and serve God in and through the human beings. Maybe I am serving plants and other, trying to see the divine in them. So there I see I am participating. Now when we see on the other side this particular aspect that my mind is there, I have a mind independent of body. So can I give my mind to God? I repeat the name of God. While doing all activities, I am traveling, I am driving, I am cooking. All the time, can I repeat the name of God? Mentally think of His living presence. So I am giving my mind to God. In worship, I give my senses to God. In dhyana, meditation, I give my intellect to God. So layer by layer, this all, my whole existence being offered to God is called bhakti. Bhaja, to share. I am giving myself entirely to God, and God's presence God's bliss, God's peace, Ananda, Shanti, I am receiving. Just like as I go towards fire, I get the warmth. As I go towards the ocean, I get the cool breeze. Like that, wherever I go, I get it. So when I go to God, towards God, I get the peace and bliss. I become more and more free from the world. So this sharing, I give myself to God and I take God within. This is God. Bhakti. Love of God is independent of all the bodily existence, this, that. Nothing comes into picture. My heart, the love that is pouring out, the Atman as if it is flowing out, manifestation of myself, my pure self, Atman. Atman, manifestation of the Atman. Atman as if it is flowing. It's called love of love. Love is manifestation of the innermost spirit. Spiritual existence manifesting is love. So this love we see manifesting, and this love is what we see. Love is independent of all aspects and layers of my existence. And I love God is open up. A bridge or a tunnel is linked between me and God. God is infinite, behind me is infinite, the Atman is infinite. In and through the body, through the form of the God, I am accustomed to meditate upon, love that particular aspect of God. Shiva's form, Durga's form, Ramakrishna's form, Sharda Devi's form. I am meditating, I am loving that form, Vishnu's form, various gods and goddesses. If you enter into Buddhism, you will see Jainism, Christianity, whatever you see, various aspects of gods, at least if form, physical form is not given, there is a quality at least. He is compassionate, he is kind, he appears, he helps whenever we call. These gunas. If form, rupa is not there, guna at least is there to contemplate upon, to conceive God in mind. So this conception of God is the objective, limited thing. As if God is manifesting there, the infinitum is manifesting to finite. This bodily existence, behind it is the Atman which is infinite. From Ananta, my love is flowing out, and from this form to that form of the Ishtadevata, and it's flowing again into the infinite. From infinite it comes, passes through the finite and reaches the infinite. The Ishtadevata is a manifestation, solidification, limitation, a mouth to express, a vent through which the infinite is going to flow. And here is my bodily existence. Behind is the infinite which is going to take out, flow. So this form and that form, Bhakta and Bhagavan, they are the manifestation of the Absolute. The infinite is behind, infinite is behind. It is going to, the infinite is flowing through the bodily limitation into the infinite of the Lord. It is just like a damaru is kept. From infinite is flowing into form, and through the form it's reaching the other form, Ishtadevata, and ending it to infinite. Ocean is passing through a pipe, huge pipe, to the other side, another ocean. So both are oceans, and externally they are linked to each other. Atma-jnana and Brahma-jnana are one and the same. Om Niranjana निरञ्जनं नित्यमनन्तरूपं भक्तानुकम्पा धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः।